We all enjoy seeing people come together working hard to make a little difference on our little planet, everybody. Skyy-Line Roofing. We had a great first interview. Check out this second interview. It's going to be fun. Kayla in the building there. Lean to your left a little bit, Kayla. There she is. Giddy up. Burning the midnight oil. Who's heard that phrase before? You talk about it because it's like those of us, guys, it's 4 o'clock in the morning and we're recording an interview. I'm just joking. But it is late at night, and it's because there's some of us, like, we work very hard during the day, and sometimes you got to do things after. Thanks you guys for staying a little extra with us here to talk a little bit about more of your business, because we got a lot covered in that first show. If you missed the first show, everybody, you missed a lot of fun. We had some of the best contribution from off camera. And so with that, we said, wait a minute, we're going to do the second show, you realize. We're going to make sure you come on camera. And so here she is. Kayla has joined the, there she is, leaned a little bit to your left. Or I'm going to put, here's her camera, everybody. Say hi to Kayla. Kayla was the one giving us some more feedback, as I was asking questions and she was chipping in, and I said, you're coming on the show here. You're going to be here part of the deal. We have to have you on camera live with us. So I'm going to push out to our wide shot here. So so we've got your website, we got your Facebook, and now I want to start talking about a little bit of what it is that we didn't get through the first show with, but I'll start off with it. Man, this is a good area to be within my list. I try to outline things. Mama said, you better have an outline, you better write it down, and you got to stay on script. I try, Mom, I try. But let's hit up this one right here. Residential and commercial, do you do both?
We do both, yes.
And why do you like each, and what kind of way do you feel you're servicing the community by working with them?
I mean, I like the residential side just because we're helping a lot more people that way. But with the commercial side, it's just a bigger project, a bigger responsibility, and that's something I also like doing.
Yeah, you're helping some company who's obviously helping people too, right? That's what
Correct.
A commercial job. Commercial stands for commerce, right? It's like, oh, are they making commercials? No, commerce. Look that one up. I think I'm right on that one, everybody. But yeah, commercial means helping businesses, and the businesses help us, and they provide jobs. So I think you're helping both when you do all that. So give me some knuckles on that. There we go. All right, Kayla, tell me why you're behind the scenes helping a lot of this stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
together.
same thing though. It's way more intimate with the homeowners, so I really like being able to talk with them. When it comes to commercial jobs, you know, we love doing them, but it's not as intimate. It's way more formal, way more professional, a lot more tedious. But
a lot of work either way,
Yeah.
but it's worth it, and I get it. So, but you do. If you had to say, I do 30-60, 30-70,
that's good.
30-60, plus an
Maybe
extra
60-40.
60-40, and when it comes down to between the two, that's where you end up.
Yeah,
Oh,
I mean, commercial jobs are great source of income, so it also helps us help our other homeowners. You know, give us a little leeway.
Yeah, you gotta have cash flow. Gotta have the resources to get it done. We're talking real live business here, everybody. We're not holding any secrets, right? I like that. Just be upfront. Tell me what it takes. That's pretty cool. And you guys are obviously doing a great job. All right, so what I liked, this is part of the discussion. We got into kind of a exciting conversation because this is where Kayla and I really got connected a little bit about the technology, the marketing. I mean, these days, tell me if you agree with this statement. This is a buddy of mine who owns a roofing company. I won't say who they are. He was a good friend of mine. There's plenty to go around. But he said, Carter, we are no longer roofing companies. We are marketing companies who sell roofs. I was like, because he went down to the conference down in Orlando, and they did this big thing, and it's all paid for by the big manufacturer. And I won't say who that was because it makes it sound like it. But it's how the world is. You've got these seminars they put on, and they're teaching people how to sell their products, and they have millions and millions of shingles that are getting sold, and so they want to have people trained on how that works and how to best serve their customers. But marketing has become such a critical component, and that's where you and I were really talking. You're like, well, I have to track this, and I'm like, wow, she really is on the ball. 9 out of 10 of my guests here, you start having that conversation, you're like, what is she talking about? Which is sad, but kind of the way the world has gone. But somebody yourself, why do you think you come from that background where you kind of understand all that?
Well, with marketing, I mean, insurance is already paid for this. So this is like the easiest sales job ever. You're paying for something that insurance is paying, or you're selling something that insurance is already paid for and a homeowner really needs. So it does come down to selling yourself and representing Skyy-Line Roofing that way. So.
Okay, and I get it, because what you're talking about is the fact that many people, there has been a hail damaged storm or another tornado. I mean, we had like 2 tornadoes and 3 tornadoes in a year or something like that. It was kind of crazy. Not many of those happened here in the Midwest, but recently we've had a few. And so the insurance company has to, it's going to be a covered claim, as they say. They're going to buy the roof. Now, what you're saying is you have to convince them to choose you.
Yeah.
Because there's
Everybody's going to give them the same thing, yeah.
Yeah, they're pretty much, and they've got it down to the how many shingles, and the insurance companies have nailed everything down. It's literally like nailed it down. But like to the corner, to the material, everything. But they want to know, the bottom line is who's going to do the job, because they trust you as the implementer of this to make this right.
Yeah, and the things that set Skyy-Line apart from the other ones, you know, the free upgrades and such like that. I mean, that sells itself, so.
Yeah, explain that a little bit. When you talk about free upgrades, I know Kayla talked about that a little bit first show, but like, are those free? Are they incorporated in the cost?
Yeah, well,
are you just saying we're going to give a little extra because it's worth it for our clients?
Yeah, like I said, we need that cash flow from those commercial jobs. That helps us give all the free upgrades that we're able to do for like our homeowners, and we're putting them on commercial jobs, obviously, anyway. But the synthetic felt, stuff like that, that they probably don't have on their roof right now. Especially if it was done 10 years ago and they already need a new roof or whatever the case is. So those are free upgrades, and then the free upgrade to an impact shingle that was probably not on their roof prior. If it was, insurance pay for it, great. If it wasn't, then that's out of our pocket. We just chalk it up to cost of doing business. But
I like that strategy. I use a similar one here with my show. As a matter of what are we producing, what are we doing, and throw in some extras just to make it a little better to help people, and they remember those things too.
Yeah,
They say, who is it that actually took the time to take a little extra care of me?
Yeah.
And my dad taught me another one. She gave me the Carter's full of quotes, but that's good. And that's good because I've learned a little bit maybe. But it was, people may not remember you by name. They may not remember exactly who it is where you came from, but they'll remember how you treated them.
Yeah. Yeah,
Is that
yeah,
100?
yeah,
Is that
100%.
where the strategy comes from a little bit?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, well, that's also, I think with technology, we also come in very well generationally. We've gone without technology and we've gone with technology. So we can swing both ways, especially with the homeowners, you know, if they've had a roof on if they've had a roof on their house for 30 years, they're probably older. So technology always doesn't play a great factor for us. So we kind of have to pivot both ways.
Okay, so you're telling me that with regard to helping the consumer, if somebody bought the house 30 years ago, they probably weren't 10 years old.
Yeah, exactly.
So they don't,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
bought
they
the house.
prefer written checks and things like that. So we do have to pivot back and forth when it comes to technology. We go both ways, yeah.
Kayla, does this help you? I mean, this is something she's helping behind the scenes, but you have to deal with the consumer face to face. You're out there at their door on their roof. Is this true? Also, I have another famous quote from somebody else that was on the show. And essentially, you're dealing with three different generations, kind of. It's like the people who are really techie, but don't look me. His quote was, "But don't look me in the eyes."
Yeah.
I looked down at my phone, and that's how I'm good. Then the next generation.
Yeah, that's only one way of doing things. Yeah.
And the little next one is like, "I'm techie. I get the technology."
Yeah.
And it's coming in the other, typically older, and I'm throwing my mom under the bus. Mom, click the forward button. You can forward a message if you click the. So it probably has an F or a forward on it. Click that. There's an arrow that goes this way instead of that way. The one that goes this way is the reply. The one that goes that way is the one to forward. She's still learning that stuff. But my point is, you've got another generation, like they want to sit down with you. They want to have a face-to-face. Don't break out your phones and your pictures and your cameras and your technology. You work with them too.
Yeah, you have to adapt and pivot. And there are a lot of homeowners too that do just like it right over the phone. And if you could just send it an email, that'd be great, that kind of thing. And that's awesome too. So, and yeah, I guess generationally wise, that's where we lean to.
Okay, yeah, because here's another caveat. Kudos I'll give you. I have seen this happen where, because I'm a little bit older too, guys, by the way. I'm 53. I'll acknowledge that publicly. Still all, yeah, right, okay. But we have to adapt to these things because the generations that are not adept to it, they're the older generations, I guess is where I'm going with this, are the ones that have the money.
Yeah.
Because they worked 30 years in their life.
Yeah.
But it's the younger generations that can walk into a business and go, let me make a beautiful website. Let me show you how to get the reviews. Let me show you everything we got.
Yeah.
And make it look. Then the best performer is the one that can do both.
Yeah, that's
kind of what I've seen with you guys' reviews
good.
and everything you put together to make that all happen.
Yeah.
And it can and I've seen it where a couple of my clients called me and they're like, hey man, we got a new guy in town. I don't know where this guy came from. He's been doing it for the tree service industry. He's been doing it for 3 years or 3 months. And he's already kicking our butt because of the marketing and the strategy. But
yeah, with the technology is like
both of those, the knowledge and the technology.
Yeah, with the technology as like a, well, I guess a strategy, but with our SEO, it kind of, in the roofing industry, it's a lot harder to narrow down a target audience when you have such a big gap, though, in ages as well. So that makes all the SEO and the marketing a little bit harder. But
All right, she's using fancy words. They're SEO, everybody. You know what that stands for? I'm going to put the hat on and tell you. Search engine optimization. There's these new things called search engines, right? What's the most popular search engine in the history of the world?
Google.
Google, right? Kind of upended the industry when Microsoft was like at the king of Windows and the whole interwebs and everything, and then Google goes, whoop, let me show you how to do it better. And it's changed the way things are done. Caleb, tell me, what's that like when you have to deal with clients from all different spectrums of the technologies phase, and then they're going, you have to kind of feel that out when you're talking to somebody?
Yeah, I mean, she's always dealt with this best, but yeah, you got your one clients that are going to be researching you and looking at your reviews, and you got your other clients who kind of are basing their ideas of who they should go with through other people that we've actually already worked with, like family and friends.
Yeah, and it boils down to, you better know what you're talking about, because if you don't know what you're talking about, no matter who it is, then you're going to have problems, because they expect the answers. Because is there any excuse these days? Because I can tell you that as a matter of, I gave a speech not long ago out at a resort here on the east side of the river. It's a beautiful resort. I forget the name of it, but we talked about it. They asked me to chat with them about how the fact is that literally there is, well, my thesis was that there is no excuse anymore. The knowledge is out there. The data is available. The information isn't hidden like it used to be historically with humans, like they kept the secret, the holy grail, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
But now there's no excuse.
That's what my dad used to always say. He's like, how can you be so silly with literally the power of knowledge in your back pocket? Use it.
Well said. Your dad is a smart man. But I mean, how often is it the case, though, that still, and this is where the other end of that goes, with regard, if you think this makes sense, you can become a YouTube official, right, in a couple hours of YouTube videos, but do you really have it mastered, right? And so how often are you dealing with people and they're saying, oh, I watched a YouTube video and they said the roof should be done this way, and you're going to go, oh boy, okay.
Yeah.
How many YouTube videos did you watch? Or what is it? How often do you guys, is that ever part of the contemplation here?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, nobody really wants to know how to put a roof on, though. So they're not Googling, like, what degree weather should I put it in, that such. And I mean, that's where we come in. But right. Yeah, nobody really wants to know how to put a roof on. They're Googling who he is, who I am.
Concerned about the products that we're using, how quickly we can get it done, how good is the cleanup.
Yeah, time frame's a big one, too. Delivery.
And how soon can we put that roof on?
Yeah, they don't really care how the
Did you hear all that? There's a lot that goes into this besides, I mean, that's why I said, you're a good point, because I was like, we got our YouTube officials, like, I'm YouTube certified, I know everything. No, you don't.
Luckily, nobody claims to know how to put a roof on. It's honest. It's new to me. It's new to me in this industry. Nobody wants to know how to do it either. It's hot, 90 degrees.
The jobs are so hot.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just undesired. Yeah. Yeah.
All right, good information.
And everybody. Insurance claims too. That always makes people not want to deal with it themselves. Also, it's kind of like, oh, I got to deal with my insurance company. Like, no, I'd rather hire a contractor and them take care of it for us.
Hire the experts, everybody.
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about. All right, with that, we're going to give a shout out here. My buddy Jason LeCavalier, who was on the show, like our third show. We did some 180, 300 shows ago now, 360. We've done a lot of shows. But Jason was one of the first supporters that came on our show, and it really is a leader in the community and does a lot of good things to make a difference. And so we're going to give him a quick shout out here as one of our leaders who's making a difference. Cruisin' Lindbergh, everybody. Check this out. Take a little preview of what we're talking about out on location in the community.
Jason LeCavalier, what's up? Cruisin' Lindbergh, there's the new Lindbergh. Literally, all right, give me a flashback. When was your first time cruising Lindbergh?
I was 13, my cousin's 16, and we went up to Ronnie's, and he didn't have a nice car, but we were still out there, cleaned up, looking good. And I remember seeing so many beautiful cars, trucks, and motorcycles. It was just such a cool vibe, and now it's back, and it's exciting. I'm loving it.
All right, I know you don't like to talk about this, but it's back because of the efforts of one particular person. I would say you led the charge here. Is that fair to say?
I've been working hard at it for 4 years now, and I think we've arrived. We're back. We're back.
All right, so the Cardinal Cowboy made a call to my friend, Angela. I go, hey, I heard this thing's going on. I can look it up on Facebook. I know it's out there, but I'll make a call.
Give me the inside scoop.
She goes, Weekends only. Be here.
There you go. And this is where it's popping.
So we turned left. I was like, oh, I can get around this crowd and cut into 2-lane. No, what? So we went down Lindbergh the other way. That took us way back.
Yeah. 20 minutes to get down Lindbergh today.
Way back to the old school, from an old school. We went all the way down Lindbergh up to Lime, turn around, come back, just like we used to back in the day. We're only about halfway through it. Go back out of here, go up to Ronnie's. How long is this thing
Until
going?
9 o'clock.
How far
It's
down
gonna
the
be
strip
packed.
do you go? So go all the way
From
up to
Ronnie's to
Louisville?
Hooters.
Ronnie's the
3
Hooters.
mile little lap right there.
There it is. All right, Jason LeCobb. This guy's a legend.
Thanks for
And
coming out today. I appreciate you,
big
brother.
supporter of the Cardinal Cowboy.
Much love.
Been on your little castle show. Hey, I forgot. We got a new thing. We take that interview and we cut it into clips.
All right.
Now we've got new AI clips. I'm going to give those to you. Remember, been with Jason on for another half hour, just from what we're doing here today. Had to get him an intro and talk about it. Thank you.
Killing it on Airbnb now, aren't you?
Yeah,
I love it.
Oh,
I love it.
by the way, if you need a consultant for Airbnb, we've learned a little bit. This guy's a master at that.
I just learned a lot through trial and error. It's
Well,
not,
and
it
this-
ain't easy,
and
but we're
this-
doing it.
And this he hooked us up, told us what to do, and now this young lady
Killing it.
makes a
Love
living
it.
off
Love
of
it.
one place almost. So
Well, thank you guys for coming out today. Much love.
if you need any help with REI, real estate and investing, right here, Jason the Cowboy. All right,
Like
Mike.
everybody winning.
Is that your
Hey, that's the boss hog.
All right, so there's the Boss Hog, big old Cadillac. That's Jason's. There's a true leader in our community, also doing a great job, making sure that we all get connected through the old things we used to love and enjoy up on Lindbergh. You guys are familiar with cruising Lindbergh? Because there's no way you were doing that back when I was, because I was 15 or 17.
They still do them there.
Yeah,
They're
but
pretty
doing it again
fun.
now,
Yeah,
aren't they?
yeah.
And you've been to it. It was almost crazier than I remember when we used to just drive around the whole Ronnie's parking lot and blast our music. Here they're doing drag outs. I don't know what you call that, but cool. But back to then, where were we at? How do you feel like you contribute to the community as a matter of doing that stuff? I mean, it's true that you've started a business here. You're providing a service that the community needs, and now you're employing people and crews. How does that make you feel and what you get to do?
It's a good feeling to be able to help the amount of people we can help and just give back any way we possibly can, whether it be upgrades we're doing or helping people that had a partial replacement figure out a way to get a full replacement taken care of. It's just,
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people do not understand that insurance game, if you will, and it is a matter of like you got to learn how to. Tell me if I'm getting this right. Depreciated value versus full value, or what is the difference there? Because the insurance contracts are written many different ways, and those are just two variables. But if they can't understand how their contract was written, their insurance policy was written, they may not be getting what they deserve, and that's where you have to kind of help interpret that. Is that true?
yeah. So we got to rework different contracts to make it work better for the person. Like if they got a half replaced roof and it's a full replacement needed, we go back with the insurance and talk to them and let them know that this is an unreplaceable roof item that we cannot repair or rework, so we have to do a full replacement on this roof.
Okay, there you go. How important do you think that is when you're dealing with getting a roof replaced? Do you want to get half of it paid for or the whole thing paid for? And if you don't know any better, they're going to go, hey, this is what it is. And they just say, okay. That's why you have to
I
have.
see the big patches on the roofs.
You see those roofs that have different color because they can never match it perfectly, right? Because that roof, even if they got the same shingles, they're 10 years older or 5 years older,
Exactly.
faded by the sun. I want to jump back into a little bit of how does technology impacted your business. We kind of skipped over that, and we talked about it a little bit, but given that Kayla's here and she understands that very well, how has technology, and talk about it yourself, if you would, Kayla, because are you using drones? You're using Sky Vision, aerial
Yeah, so
images?
You know that,
of
yeah,
the-
aerial reports, great, yeah.
of the roof, right? I'm sorry?
Yeah, aerial reports, you were dead on with that, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, now you can. There's a lot less climbing around on the roof. Are you guys using those
a
technologies?
lot
Tell me about these
safer, yeah.
technologies that people are using.
hey, we can use Eagle View or Hover, and it's just a lot safer way to get the actual roof measurements instead of us going up there with a tape measure and going on these edges of two-story buildings and, kind of risking your life just to get a quick measurement of a building.
Kayla, is that the truth? I mean, this is literally like the technology. He's been the one on the roof. What's some of the technologies that you've seen that you get to benefit from in the office, where you're checking out how you
Payroll.
preparing policies and
Yeah.
running the whatever it is you have to do to help.
A lot of that stuff actually when it comes to insurance is more detail orientated, and you can't really use a lot of softwares to run the contracts through and I guess cross analyze and like give us what we want. It's really per job. It's so different. There isn't like I guess, a system or a good way to do it, because every job is so different. So to carry on or use a process or system or implement anything like that, it wouldn't be accurate for each job.
Yeah, that's what you don't want this thing to not be accurate, because you end up not counting whatever the drip edge that doesn't cover it. There's stuff called ridge vents and all these things that they make it. Tell me about how those innovations, you talked about it, was it earlier? It's becoming a blur with all the numbers. I'm getting poured on me here. But literally, like, you had a roof. It was early this conversation, because I remember you were sitting here, and last show you were sitting over there. I'm like, you need to sit over here and help us here. But the technology has changed from 10 years ago. So the materials, you're talking about synthetic versus
15-pound felt,
felt versus what you have now. And those big innovations make a difference for if the consumer doesn't know any better.
Yeah.
They're getting upgrades whether they like it or not, unless they don't know what they're doing, and you get some unscrupulous.
Yeah, and there is really
some old felt from an old.
I would say there's no good system out there to really see it, though. So it's really Caleb going over the contracts and actually seeing what they have and comparing what they don't have, and making sure that gets put on the insurance scope, and they're getting paid for what they need to get paid for.
So there is a lot more of the hands-on that's necessary.
Yeah.
Because and I'm throwing out things that I've heard, lingo, Xactimate. Is that an application that will help you? But you're saying
we do use it.
Yeah, use Xactimate, and the insurance company will coordinate everything with you down to the piece and the size. And the measurements.
Well, insurance uses Xactimate, so as long as we can be as accurate as we can using Xactimate, we will use that as well. But the insurance adjuster doesn't always know what a turbine vent is between a turtle vent, so he just needs to make sure that those are being accurately paid for through the insurance scope.
Kayla is on the ball here. Caleb, I mean, all right, tell me what it's like. You've got to deal with these like live in front of the customer. You're facing the customer, right? You're explaining them these issues.
So we're going through the materials that we use. We're showing them and giving them product information on the classes of the shingles and what they previously had, what we're putting on, which is the impact resistant. The synthetic felt, we're bringing them and showing them examples. Here's a 15-pound felt. You can tear it, rip it pretty easily. I give them the synthetic felt. I mean, it's very hard to tear and wear.
I would say the only technology we really use is our CRM system for sales, and that's just, lead generation and stuff.
Together.
Yeah, that just helps him and I talk,
letting us know where jobs are, when, what stage they're in. Do we need a supplement for this job? Is this contract signed? Is first check picked up? And it just helps expedite and keep us all on the same track.
Now we're talking like there's got to be so many variables that go into putting together a roof. I'm surprised. It's almost like, can you imagine how a car is built with all the pieces? A roof is maybe not quite as complicated, but there's got to be, I can only imagine, because you've got wood, paneling, sheetrock, gutters.
Yeah.
By the time you put this thing all together, you're right. I didn't realize there's so much coordination that has to happen, and then communication with the consumer.
Yeah.
Because they're going, when's my roof going to be done? I don't care about all that. Just when's it going to be done?
Yeah, we're also not doing just one trade. So we'll do a roof, and I need to invoice insurance per trade. So he needs to let me know when the gutters are being done, when the siding's being done, when the roof's done, when the job is completely completed. Because then I have to invoice insurance with everything. So communication's key.
You're talking about this different. Like gutters are different. That's a different trade than is.
Yep, gutter work is different than roof installation or repair, and siding's different than gutters and roof, obviously. But yeah, roof and gutters do not go together.
Do you see why we have to have experts that come in and help us with everything when it comes to these types of decisions? Skyy-Line Roofing, building trust one roof at a time. Sky, it's S-K-Y-Y. Make note of that. -lineroofing.com. I get that right?
Definitive.
And these are some experts. All right, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to jump over to a little preview. Actually, you know what? We're going to jump into. I'm going to do a little promo for one of our sponsors here, because we do have to give tribute to the people who are helping us make this all happen. Take a listen here, everybody. Here's something that you may or not know about gold. Hey everybody, Cardinal Cowboy here. I want to invite all of you to be part of my new team. No, you don't have to put on a baseball uniform and be a super fan. Now, it would be a good idea to cheer for the Cardinals, the greatest team in the history of the National League. But I'm talking about the Gold Cowboy team. You know, I love to help people follow their dreams and reach their goals in business and in life. So that's one of the reasons why I'm telling you about my friends at My Metal Pro. They help people like you and I acquire gold and silver with a membership that lets you safely buy, sell, and store gold and silver. They make it real easy to get started. My Metal Pro isn't like the big guys you see on network TV or the big coin shops that take a huge commission. So become part of my Gold Cowboy team. Scan the QR code or go to goldcowboy.com and check it out. Giddy up! All right, so off camera here, we were having a little discussion. I mean, literally gold, the way you buy it has changed. I mean, a lot of people don't realize, and it hasn't changed for many people because they don't know about the opportunity you have to buy gold through My Metal Pro. There it is, everybody. Go to goldcowboy.com. I just talked about, I have some of the items that I've gotten through My Metal Pro. 7K is who he's a distributor for. And like, where am I at here? I'm gonna change the camera over, everybody, so we can do this. And then I'm gonna hit the button to keep that up there because it'll change on me. But there and then there. Check it out, everybody. Literally, like, you can't find some of these things there. And I just buy every month. I'm set up to automatically take money out of my account and buy gold with it direct at a cost that is like 5% of what everybody else marks it up. And because they can take advantage of it. How else do you get it? You got to go to the gold store, and they do mark it up 20-30% because you don't have any other options. Now you do. Check it out, everybody. All right, let's finish up here. We've got about 3 minutes left. And I want to cover a couple important ones that we didn't get to. But tell us the process, one of the most important questions. What's the process? Somebody says, I think you guys are on the ball. What do they have to do to get started with you guys? What's the process?
So yeah, they're calling us, me or Kayla in the office, and we're showing up on site for the inspection. We're doing just like the insurance wants their guys to do it. So we're going around the whole perimeter of the roof or the exterior of the building. We're checking downspouts, gutters, siding, any kind of property that could have been damaged, barbecue pits, chairs, that's all part of your personal property that could be damaged. And if it is, then it's covered under your insurance policy. And once we get that, we go up to the roof and examine everything from the ground up, and yeah.
Yeah, there's so much that people don't realize. It's part of that entire claim. It's not just the roof. It's like whatever else might have been damaged, but you're the ones that are going to have to put that together. So you help them from top to bottom with everything. Is that true, Kayla?
Yeah, putting together, I guess, the estimate for the homeowner. Sometimes they don't want to do their siding when there's a little chip in it, so we don't have to. But other times they do, and we'll also add that into our estimate and do those trades as well. But yeah, a lot of homeowners do miss that. A lot of other things can be covered underneath that claim, because if you make another claim on your siding or whatever, you have to pay your deductible twice. So why not just put it all underneath one and pay your deductible once, right?
Very smart. Okay, we've had lots of people, and I'm not diminishing any of the other companies we've had on here, but I had not heard that specific thing. They all talk about different things. We get into it, or sometimes we don't. But I realize that, yeah, why would you want to have those? Today, they start doing these percentage deductibles, right? And a 1%, 2%, 3%. Well, it used to be a $150,000 house. Now it's a $450,000 house.
Yeah.
And they're not going, hey, we're going to give you that $1,000 deductible.
Yeah.
We're going to be at 3%. Right? 3%.
Yeah, and that's a big difference.
4,500. So you're going up 15.
Yeah.
Almost 14, 15 grand in your deductible. Not for the whole household loss, but still those roofs are going to be $60,000 and $70,000 now.
So while you're there, you might as well get your, your pool checked out, your fencing checked out, your mailboxes checked out.
Because it is
everything.
all part of the same claim.
Yeah,
And
it's all because they just take a date that when the storm hit and what caused the damage, they use that date. So whatever fell underneath that date should be added into your claim.
We're not worried just about getting your roof covered. We're worried about your whole property, because that's what they should be doing when they're looking. We're not coming in here just trying to get you a roof and stop there. Like, you deserve every single piece of property that was damaged there that day.
Like a
There it is.
facelift.
Oh, sorry, we're out of time, right? But yeah, make sure you get it done right. Is that the point?
Yeah.
Thanks, everybody. Stay tuned to your little castle show. Giddy up.